What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Nuggets Talk Recap. I'm your host, Leonard Pinckney, aka Agent P. Here to give you guys another Nuggets Talk recap. Of course, this one, not a fun one for the Nuggets fans. OKC thoroughly dominated this game. Let's go ahead and get into the recap here. First quarter, 6:54 mark. OKC is up 18-13. Chet started off hot. He was going right at Jokic in this one. 10 early points. MPJ was countering with 8 points. He shot really well to start the game. KCP on a drive looked to maybe hurt his knee or his calf, but he did stay in the game. Nuggets tied it up at 22 apiece at the 4:35 mark, which was up to 10 here. And at the end of the first quarter, OKC retook the lead, 33-27 after one. Shea and Chet combined for 26 of OKC's 33 points. The Nuggets shot 50% from the field and had 10 assists on 11 field goals. So, honestly, really good start in the first quarter. Second quarter, when things started to break down a little bit. 9:53 mark, OKC's up 38-30. A block from Chet led to a timeout from Denver. Lead got cut to 6, 42-36. Sloppy play from the Nuggets and an offensive foul on an overturned challenge here. It was 42-36 at that point. At the half, it was 54-48 OKC. Jokic was at 15, 8-4, but had 5 turnovers. Chet had 17. Shea had 18. Denver was sloppy. OKC only had 4 turnovers. Denver had 8. Poor three-point shooting from both teams in the first half, actually. 4 of 17 for OKC, 7 for 23 from Denver. What they were doing initially was just leaving Peyton Watson open. In the first half, he started 0 for 5. They were leaving him open, but not as open as Memphis was. They were leaving him open in late contesting, sometimes fully contesting, and that obviously affected the way he shot. Murray got off to a poor start, 2 for 7, and after starting 3 for 3, Porter was 0 for 5 for the rest of the quarter and the second quarter. Third quarter is when they broke it open, 62-54. Jokic had 2 more turnovers early in the second quarter. Quick timeout from Denver. Lead gets up to 15 at the 5:33 mark, 73-58. The Thunder were just playing with more energy. SJ was hooping 7 points and an 11-4 run against Denver. I wrote at this point, Jokic needs to go to work. He indeed did not go to work. It was 86-66 with 1 minute left in the third. OKC was just running away with it. Jokic only had 1 field goal attempt in the quarter. No energy from the Nuggets. They were down 20 after 3. Denver slowly chipped away. They tried to make it a game. It was 90-75 at the 9:26 mark. This point was notable. There was a point in this game right here where the comeback looked like it could have happened. It was around the 8:30 mark, and Denver was down 15 points. And in my head, I was thinking, hey, Malone, you should just put Jokic in right now. And if they make the comeback, they make the comeback. And if they go up by 25, then just take him out with 4 minutes left or whatever the case may be. He didn't put him back in the game. He subbed him after. And by the time that happened, the lead ballooned already up to 21, and the game was going to be out of reach at that point. So there was that little inflection point where Denver maybe could have made a run if Malone got Jokic in the game earlier. But, hey, them's the breaks. 5:16 mark, OKC still up 17, and with 3:24 left, they're up 19. Starters check out of the game. Nuggets wave the white flag. And the Thunder get another win from the Nuggets in Denver, 119-93. Nuggets have won 8 of their last 10 games. 2 of those losses are to the Oklahoma City Thunder, both at home. So an unfortunate loss tonight. It's a division rival, and it's a Western Conference game, obviously. So kind of tough on both ends, regular season wise. What did Jokic do tonight? The good. 19, 10, and 7 on 9 of 10 shooting. We love that. The bad, 7 turnovers and only 2 field goal attempts in the second half. He just was not aggressive in his advantage matchups tonight. So when Chet was guarding Jokic one-on-one, they were double teaming him. And rightfully so. Jokic is doing what he normally does, pass out, make the right plays. He's doing that for the most part in the first half. There was instances in the second quarter and the second half when OKC subbed in Jalen Williams to guard Jokic. Now, in these moments, these are the moments where I don't have to give super criticism to Jokic, but these were the moments where it would have been nice if Jokic just took advantage of those matchups and said, hey, Jalen Williams is guarding me, I need to go get buckets. Even if they force a double team, I need to maybe force a couple shots here and there to let them know I'm going to shoot it. I think what ended up being OKC's what they did really great tonight is they played into Jokic's strengths. They used Jokic's strengths against him tonight. Jokic will always make the good play. He will always make the right play. If he's doubled, he'll move the ball. He always wants to make that extra pass. So what OKC did was feint until Jokic picked the ball up, looked like he was going to either make a move or make the pass. They played him for the pass every single time. Jokic never forced it up. And because he never forced a shot, especially against a double team, they said, hey, he's always going to pass it out of a double team. Let's just double him late, and he's going to give the ball up, and we'll live with everyone else shooting. Part of the reason why Denver is so good is because Jokic scores at such an efficient clip. That's a big part of what their offense is relying on night after night. You're relying on Jokic to score 25 to 30 a night. You're relying on about 25% of your scoring to come from him, and not just come from him, but be done at a super efficient rate. And that's what helps the offense continue to roll. Tonight, OKC did a really good job of just saying, hey, we know he's going to pass the ball out of the double team. We'll double late and just try to fan out to everyone later. This is something that a lot of teams try to employ, and on the nights where the Nuggets' other guys are scoring, it doesn't really work. But this was a night coming off a back-to-back where the Nuggets looked a little bit tired, and the other guys in this game all shot really poorly. I'm going to talk about some of them later. But in games like this, when there's certain inflection points, there's certain fluctuation points in games. I tweeted it out. I even talked about it on this pod a couple of days ago when Jokic just has moments where it's like, hey, man, your matchup is the best matchup advantage we have in the game. You have to sometimes just put your head down and say, I'm going to score through two. I'm going to, because even if they bring the double team against you with Jalen Williams, you can still score over the top of that with whoever is helping. OKC knew that he would pass the ball out of every double team, and they played to that advantage the entire night. Jokic only had 2 field goal attempts in the second half. Only 2. If you do that to Denver, that is going to be one of your best chances to beat them, because Jokic shoots at such a highly efficient rate. If you stop him from shooting, that's how this is going to work in your favor. So it was just one of those nights. I know Jokic just came off of a perfect triple-double the other night, or last night against Memphis. That's against Memphis without Ja, totally different team. But there's just certain moments, and I will continue to watch this as a Nuggets fan to just see how Jokic plays these kind of matchups, you know? When it's against the Timberwolves and it's going against Gobert and Towns and you've got 2 giant bigs in there, I get not trying to force it and having their double team scheme work a little bit more positively. But for OKC, when Chet was out of the game and the only big guy on the court was Jalen Williams, I want to see Jokic just go in the paint and score. I don't know if that's him that has to implement that or be aggressive with it, or Malone just has to say, hey, call the plays that I get him the ball in the post more, and not just play for the pass every single time. You got to keep OKC honest. If they know that he's going to pass the ball every single time, they're going to fan out to our shooters every single time, and our driving kicks just won't be as effective. And when we did have those opportunities, our guys just didn't score tonight. We got SG8 as well. Shea and Chet started the game scoring 26 of OKC's 33 first quarter points, and Shea just kept it rolling. He scored 40 tonight, showing why he is an MVP candidate on 14 of 20 shooting and 10 of 10 from the free throw line. Chet finished with 24 in this one. Shea got to whatever spot he wanted to, did whatever he wanted to on the court. He was magnificent tonight. And one of the things, even it's funny how I was talking about Jokic being a little bit passive in this one. Shea, even against certain double teams, was getting shots up, was getting to his spots, was scoring the basketball. It was the antithesis of what Jokic was doing just tonight. Shea is usually this aggressive all the time anyway, but it was very striking in a night where you saw Jokic only take 2 field goal attempts and you saw Shea shoot 20. 20 overall. I know it's only 2 in the second half, but still. Shea kept the pedal to the metal, and he showed exactly why he's an MVP candidate. He was awesome tonight. On the other side of the coin, Jamal Murray definitely lost the point guard and the Canadian matchup tonight. He was awful. 9 points on 4 of 15 shooting. He did have 11 assists, but he was awful in just every other aspect, man. He had a lot of sloppy plays that didn't result in turnovers, but were just disjointing the offense. He was a game low -20. He was bad on defense. It was just a bad night for Jamal. And anyone who was watching this game and you're comparing the two, you had some fodder tonight to say that, man, we compare these two guys, but SGA had 40 and Jamal had 9. Now, obviously, when it's playoff time, that's when shit get real, and that's when we know Jamal shows up. But there are certain nights, and tonight was one of them, where Shea, obviously, in a lot of people's eyes, is the better player and looked like the better player tonight. No question about it. 40 points to 9. And if we're going to beat OKC in this capacity, he has to be better. He knows that. And he's probably, if he gets interviewed tonight, he's going to probably say that. Rest of the starters, P. Watt, 14 points on 6 of 12 shooting. He did shoot 1 of 6 from 3. Started 0 for 5. I talked about it a little bit in the recap, but they were playing him for the shot, obviously, and they weren't playing him for the shot as much as Memphis was. Memphis was just leaving him completely open. OKC said, we'll let you catch. But it was more of a half stagger in terms of leaving him open versus a full stagger. And they were able to close out on him. And when they enticed him to shoot, they were able to get good contests. And his field goal or 3-point percentage obviously wasn't good tonight as a result. Started 0 for 5 from 3, but at least he played hard for the rest of the night. He was a little bit more rookie tonight. He was a little foolhardy, played really hard, had a really, really, really nice block against Josh Giddey. So you can't knock the effort, but a lot of it was just a little like clunky. It's like there's points where it's like, hey, make the pass here. Hey, take this shot here. Hey, don't do the extra stuff. Just some of that stuff wasn't happening, but he played hard, so can't knock him too much. Porter started 2 for 2 from 3 and 3 of 3 overall and shot 1 of 9 the rest of the game. Can't do it. KCP, 8 points, 3 of 5 from the field, but he was a -16 overall. Look to hurt his calf or knee potentially. Hopefully he's fine. Nuggets get a couple of days off before they play again, so he should be good to go. Hopefully he played the rest of this game. So bench, they had a total of 31 points. Everyone else on the bench was in the negative except for Reggie, who was a +1. Reggie hit a couple threes tonight. That was nice. And Strother had 10 points, but other than that, rest of the bench was unforgettable. Nuggets are now 23-11. They close out December with a 10-5 record, so still really good month for Denver. Just ends on a sour note, you know. 2 of those 5 losses this month came to OKC. One of them they shouldn't have lost when they hit the shot at the near buzzer by Shea, and this one thoroughly dominated. So both of them are at home. Nuggets won the first matchup against OKC by a lot in OKC early this year. They owe them again. They got to play them one more time. They owe them back that matchup. Nuggets will go back and start, or not go back. They're staying at home, and they'll start the new year playing on Monday night, January 1st, when they play against the Hornets on Monday. Thank you guys for listening to the Nuggets Talk Recap. I am your host, Leonard Pinckney. Appreciate your time. See you next time.